fighting. I'm going to pray and hope that this time he wants to fight for this. I want him to show up for me how I should.
When we talk about shocking reality TV twists, nothing compares to the storm that just hit Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Viewers thought they had seen it all, the betrayals, the tears, the fights, but this is the moment that left everyone speechless. Word is swirling through the streets of Atlanta and across social media that Yandy, the woman who stood by Mendeecees through years of ups and downs, has finally dropped a bombshell no one saw coming. Reports are saying she admitted she's done, and the way it unfolded left Keisha completely shook. Imagine this. One moment, laughter is in the air, and the next, the vibe shifts into chaos. Yandy's voice trembles, emotions crack through every word, and the cameras catch the raw intensity of a woman at her breaking point. Mendeecees tries to keep his cool, but the tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. And Keisha, she's left staring wide, unable to believe what she's just heard. Fans can't stop buzzing, asking, did Yandy really mean it? Is this the end of an era? This isn't just drama, it's the kind of revelation that changes everything. The tension in Atlanta reached a boiling point when whispers began circulating about cracks in Yandy and Mendeecees' marriage. Fans who had followed their love story for years believed they were unshakable. But the cameras revealed a very different reality. It all started at a casual gathering where Keisha, Yandy, and a few close friends came together. What was supposed to be lighthearted turned into a powder keg of emotions when Yandy finally let her guard down. The scene opened with laughter, music, and a few harmless jokes flying around. Keisha was in the middle of telling a funny story when she noticed Yandy sitting quietly in the corner, her smile fading faster than anyone could register. The energy in the room shifted as Yandy's body language told a story long before her words did. She leaned back, crossed her arms, and sighed in a way that felt heavy, like she'd been carrying this weight for far too long. Mendeecees, trying to play it cool, leaned over and whispered, "What's wrong with you?" But his tone wasn't caring. It was dismissive, almost irritated, as if her silence was an inconvenience rather than a cry for help. That was the moment Yandy's patience snapped. She looked him straight in the eye, her voice trembling but strong enough to pierce through the laughter still lingering in the background. "I can't do this anymore," she said. The room froze. Forks clinked against plates. The music suddenly felt too loud, and everyone turned their attention to her. Keisha's jaw dropped, her eyes darting back and forth between Yandy and Mendeecees. No one dared to interrupt, because the gravity of what was unfolding demanded silence. "You don't mean that?" But Yandy didn't flinch. Her face told the story of countless sleepless nights, of sacrifices made, of battles fought that no one else saw. "I mean it," she whispered, her voice breaking yet somehow gaining power with every word. The cameras zoomed in, capturing every flicker of emotion across her face. Fans watching at home later described it as the moment their hearts dropped, because it wasn't staged or exaggerated, felt raw, unfiltered, and painfully real. Keisha placed her hand on her chest and muttered, "Lord have mercy," under her breath. As the silence dragged on, the tension grew unbearable. Friends in the room exchanged worried glances, unsure if they should step in or let the moment unravel on its own. Finally, Yandy stood up, her chair scraping loudly against the floor, and declared, "I have given everything, and I'm left with nothing. I stood by you when no one else did. I carried the weight when you couldn't. But now I'm empty." Mendeecees shifted uncomfortably, his usual calm demeanor cracking. "So what you saying? You've done with me? After everything we've been through?" His voice was low, almost pleading. But there was also frustration laced in every syllable. Yandy's eyes glistened with tears, but she refused to let them fall. "Yes," she said firmly, "I'm done." Keisha gasped so loudly it echoed across the room. Fans later tweeted about that exact moment, calling it the collective gasp heard around Atlanta. Social media immediately lit up, with hashtags flying as people tried to process the reality that one of hip-hop's most celebrated couples might be crumbling before their eyes. But it didn't stop there. Once the words were out, years of suppressed feelings began to pour out of Yandy like a flood. She brought up moments when she felt invisible. Times when she felt she was holding the family together while Mendeecees was distracted with everything else. Do you even know what it's like to always be the one keeping everything from falling apart? She demanded, her voice rising. Do you know how many nights I cried myself to sleep while you brushed it off like nothing? Mendeecees finally stood, his face tight with frustration. You think I don't know? You think I don't carry guilt every single day for the time I wasn't there? I did my best. I did what I had to do, and maybe I wasn't perfect. But you act like I never gave you anything. His words hit the air heavy, but they didn't soften Yandy's resolve. Instead, they fueled her anger. Your best left me broken. Your best left me questioning my worth. I don't want your best anymore. I want peace. I want love that doesn't feel like a constant battle. Keisha stepped in then, her voice shaky but trying to diffuse the explosion. Y'all, please, this ain't the place. Let's just take a breath. But neither of them heard her. They were locked in a battle that had been simmering for years. And once the lid blew off, there was no containing it. Friends in the background whispered nervously, one of them even muttering, "This ain't gonna end good." And the truth was, it didn't feel like it could. The pain between Yandy and Mendeecees was too raw, too exposed to be patched over with a quick apology at one point. Mendeecees threw his hands up, pacing the room like a man searching for an escape. You want to throw away everything we built? Just like that? He asked, his voice trembling in a way that revealed his own fear. Yandy shook her head, her expression weary but resolute. It's not just like that. It's years of me holding on and pretending everything was fine when it wasn't. It's years of me sacrificing while you took it for granted. This isn't sudden. This is overdue. The cameras caught Keisha wiping her eyes, clearly overwhelmed by the intensity of what she was witnessing. Later, fans would say that Keisha's reaction mirrored their own shock. Sadness and disbelief that this power couple was truly unraveling in front of their eyes by now. The atmosphere was electric, every word charged with emotion. Mendeecees tried once more, his voice softer this time. So you telling me there's no fixing this? Nothing left. Yandy's silence was louder than any answer she could have given. She simply turned her head away, refusing to meet his eyes. The silence that followed was suffocating. Keisha finally whispered, "Lord, this is too much." Before the scene cut to black, leaving viewers stunned and desperate to know what would happen next. The aftermath of Yandy's confession hung in the air like smoke after a fire. The gathering that had started so lighthearted was now drowned in silence, broken only by the faint sound of music still playing in the background, awkward and out of place. Keisha kept shaking her head as if she couldn't believe she had just witnessed history in the making. Her voice finally cut through, trembling. "Girl, you really just said that? You really told him you'd done?" Yandy didn't answer right away. She stared at the floor, her hands trembling slightly. While Mendeecees leaned against the wall, his face a mixture of anger, hurt, and disbelief. It was as though the entire world he knew had suddenly collapsed beneath him. Friends began whispering among themselves, some pulling out their phones, already texting others about the drama exploding in front of their eyes. Fans watching later joked that you could see the group chat notifications blowing up in real time. Nobody wanted to be the one to speak out loud, but everyone was thinking the same thing. This was the beginning of something none of them expected to see play out in public. Mendeecees finally broke the silence, his voice rough. "After everything we went through, after I sat behind bars thinking about you and the kids every damn day, this is how you do me. In front of everybody." Yandy lifted her head slowly, her eyes wet but her tone steady. "Don't twist this on me. I was there for you when the world wasn't. I held us down. But you came back and acted like I was just another piece of furniture in your house. You don't know the nights I cried myself numb because you couldn't see me anymore." Keisha's eyes darted between them, her hands still clutched to her chest. "This is breaking my heart. I never thought I'd see y'all like this." Mendeecees shook his head and laughed bitterly. Nah, this is what happens when people listen to outsiders, when people let everybody in our business. You've been listening to too many voices, Yandy. They don't want to see us together. Yandy's tone turned sharp. Don't you dare put this on anybody else. This is between you and me. I'm tired of pretending for the cameras, for the fans, for everybody who thinks we're the perfect couple. We're not. I'm exhausted. The camera zoomed closer on Mendeecees as he clenched his jaw. His pride wouldn't let him break down, but the flicker in his eyes revealed he was fighting tears of his own. So what? You just throw away our marriage. Just like that. The intensity in the room was suffocating. Keisha whispered to a friend nearby, "She ain't playing this time. She's serious? She ain't playing this time. She's serious?" Yandy took a deep breath, her words coming out softer but more painful than ever. "I'm not throwing it away, Mendeecees. It was gone a long time ago, and we both knew it. I just finally said it out loud." The weight of her words crushed the atmosphere. The friends gathered looked stunned, and fans who later watched the episode said they had goosebumps. Because it felt like watching the end of an empire in real time. Keisha finally stood up, moving closer to Yandy, her voice pleading, "Don't make no final decisions in the heat of the moment. You know, people gon' twist this, gon' use this against you. Think about your family, think about the kids." Yandy nodded slightly, but her resolve didn't falter. "I am thinking about them, Keisha. I've been thinking about them every single day. They deserve to see their mother happy, not drained and broken." Mendeecees finally walked toward Yandy, his voice almost a whisper now.